guys, welcome back. Today I'm excited to be doing a first impressions wear test video with a brand new to me foundation. This is Idun Minerals foundation and the color is Jorunn. This color is awesome. I put it on the back of my hand to test swatch it. It blended in seamlessly, so I'm really looking forward to getting it on my face. Today I put on the Cover FX Illuminating Primer. I'm outside to try to take advantage of indirect natural light to see how well it works for matching. Later in the day, I'll go into my studio. This is an illuminating foundation that's supposed to be buildable, and you're supposed to apply it with an angled brush like this. So this is the Sigma F88. I'm gonna put it on half of my face first. All right, trying to give you a view of this foundation from my side. I feel like it matches pretty well. I also feel like it's covered up enough of my redness that, at least on this side, like you can see it, I feel like you can see a subtle difference. Like this side just looks better, but it doesn't look thick or cakey or heavy, and it has like a sheen like skin. That's one coat. I still feel like I have redness that's going on. Let me take you out in the sun and see what we see. Okay, I'm officially blind. Indirect sunlight, can't actually see. So when I'm looking in the mirror right now, I feel like it looks like I have normal looking skin, no redness from rosacea. In the viewfinder, I feel like I see a little bit of redness here and here, but I don't feel like I see that in person. So I'm gonna go take us under studio lights. Okay, I'm now inside in studio lighting. I have it on and it's settled onto my face. I feel like this color is a perfect match. Oh my God. And the fact that I only had to put one layer of foundation and I have no concealer on, I'm pretty happy with this. I feel like it looks like skin. Yeah, I love this. Check it out. It looks so gorgeous. But it's a very sheer foundation. It says it can be built up if you want to build it up. It says buildable coverage with an airless finish. And I think really all I'm gonna do is just set this with some setting spray. Urban Decay's All Nighter. All right, I gave myself the spritz over. It is 3:37 p.m. I'll be back in a couple hours to see how this is wearing. It's about 6:15 and I just wanted to do a check-in. I think it's been close to 3 hours. So when I look in the mirror, I feel like it looks like I'm wearing a sheer foundation, but the pink, like the natural pink in my skin is coming through like in my nose and my cheeks and my chin. I pulled out my magnifying makeup mirror so I could see what's going on, and I do feel like it's emphasizing dryness like right on the sides of my nose. There's a couple places where it looks like it's kind of settling into my pores, mostly like right here. And I don't know if maybe I just didn't apply my primer evenly or what, but I feel like it doesn't look terrible. And I probably can find another primer to use with it that it might work better with. Like I thought, this foundation is a water-based foundation, so I used a water-based primer with it, which was the Cover FX Illuminating Primer. I guess let me zoom in a little bit so you can see a little more up close. I have a feeling that if I'd used concealer with it, like maybe even only half the amount I normally use, my skin would probably look flawless. What I really like about this is that it looks like my skin. I don't feel like I'm wearing a ton of makeup. It's not itchy, and it almost gives me as much coverage as I want. Like it almost evens out my skin tone and gets rid of most of my redness. I wish I got rid of a little bit more of my redness, but I don't feel like I look gross and blotchy like I normally do if I don't wear any foundation because of my rosacea. So I'll be back in a couple more hours. Okay, so it's 9:33 p.m. So I think roughly 6 hours since I first applied. This really isn't a long wearing foundation from what I can tell. It really probably needs to be touched up at this point. To me, it looks like it just kind of separated or pulled into my pores or something's going on here. And then it did cling to like the dryness that I always seem to have like around the outside of my nose. So yeah, at this point, I feel like it looks like it needs to be touched up. I guess I could try putting more of the liquid foundation on top of it to see if it'll blend together. I don't think it looks better when I just tried to touch it up by adding more. So here's what it looks like up close. I don't know, for my like literally my first day getting this in the mail and my first day wearing it, I would have to say that I'm really, really impressed by the color match. I don't think it wore that bad, even though like it did obviously, like I was trying to explain earlier, it showed somewhere like around the center of my face where I always show wear, and it was pretty sheer. But even being sheer, I felt like it covered up most of my redness from rosacea. Maybe I'm just getting more used to seeing myself wearing sheer foundation and not hating it. Hey guys, welcome back. Today I'm going to be doing another wear test video with the Idun Minerals foundation in the shade Jorunn, which is spelled Jorunn. And I looked up how to pronounce it and it sounded like they were saying Jorunn. Not urine, but Jorunn. So I love this color. It is an amazing match for my skin tone. This is a water-based foundation. So I went out and bought the Too Faced Hangover primer, which is a water-based primer, to see how this works for me. I haven't tried this primer since it launched and I remember not liking it, so I'm hoping it was just an issue of me using it with the wrong foundation, because today we're going to use it with the Idun Minerals foundation. My skin has been hydrated and I have SPF on it, so now I'm going to put on the Hangover primer, which is white and looks like this. I'm filming a natural light. There's none of my ring lights or softbox lights or anything on. This is just the light coming in from the window. So you can see how freaking red and gross my face looks right now. Or I feel like it looks red and gross. This is a silicone-free primer. I'm going to zoom in so you can see what my face looks like, so you can see where I have texture and I have pores, because I have real skin and I don't use a filter. So this is my chin, which is super red. My cheeks, my forehead. This cheek was giving me trouble with the last foundation that I tried. I don't know, I think my skin is just, I'm having a flare from the dryness and the cold weather. My skin hates the cold weather. And I'm going to put this on my face, mostly towards the center, and then take a brush and work it out. So you can see how well the color matches my skin tone, which is, in my opinion, it's a great match. I think it's a perfect match. Okay, so I did 2 pumps of that foundation and I still feel like I need a little more coverage on my cheeks. Like you can see from the side, I feel like it looks, like I said, I feel like it's a great color match. I feel like it's like very glowy because it is a luminous foundation. I really hate all the redness like right here. I'm thinking maybe if I put a little bit of my Kat Von D L1 Neutral on top of it. So I'm going to use the Cover FX Illuminating Setting Powder with the Cover FX Powder Brush, which is this ginormous brush. I'm going to zoom in so you can see what it looks like up close. I'm probably not going to put any other makeup on today because I have a lot of things left to finish today. But it is 3:18 p.m. So it's 7:36 p.m. It's been about, I don't know, 4 hours or so since I applied the Idun Minerals foundation. I only have one light on right now. This is just my ring light. I don't even have it turned up all the way, so I want you to be able to see what my skin looks like. I feel like you can see that it's a very luminous finish foundation. I feel like my skin looks luminous and glowy. When I look in normal mirrors, I don't feel like it looks cakey or anything. I feel like you can see that it's pretty sheer coverage because I feel like a lot of pink is coming through because my rosacea is flaring really bad today. Let me go ahead and zoom in so you can see what it looks like closer up. So if you were about 2 inches from my face, this is probably what you would see. Now, I applied this foundation differently than I've ever applied any foundation. If it shows anywhere at all, it's probably going to show it on the nose. And what I will do for that is touch it up with a powder foundation that matches. But overall, the way my skin looks right now, I'm really happy with it. I didn't put any setting spray on it or anything like that. It doesn't feel itchy. There's nothing like, it just feels comfortable, and I feel like it looks like skin, like it has like a luminous sheen like normal skin would. Like I said, the only thing that really bothers me is I feel like I have I have some redness peeking through because of my rosacea. But maybe it just looks that way in the viewfinder on my camera. Maybe it's not actually like that when you look at the video. I don't know. Because when I look in the mirror, I don't see the same pinkness. So it's about 11:20 p.m. and I think this has been on for roughly 8 hours, and it looks pretty good in my opinion, considering that I didn't use one of my long wearing primers, I didn't use setting spray. All I used was the Too Faced Hangover primer and the Cover FX Illuminating setting powder with it. The only other makeup I put on was I put on some lipstick. This is Urban Decay's Oblivion. The foundation has a little bit of wear here from me blowing my nose, but aside from that, like I said, I feel like it looks pretty good. I'm gonna zoom in so you can see. And I think you can see like right here, it's kind of clinging to like the dryness that I always seem to have by the sides of my nose, no matter how much I exfoliate, and then it's kind of gone from the tip of my nose. But it looks pretty good. In my opinion, it looks pretty good everywhere else, at least as far as I can see in the mirror. I'm not sure what I'm gonna see when I look in the when I look at my computer and see how it looks in HD. As I'm sure I've explained to you before, what I sometimes see in the mirror looks completely different from what I see in HD, because when I'm just looking in like a normal mirror, it's not magnified. And so to me, I'll look normal. Like if I go look in my bathroom, everything looks okay. If I look in this mirror, everything looks okay. But then when I get to looking at the video afterwards on my computer, I'm like, oh, it looks like crap. And it's all because you can see so close, because you're seeing about 2 inches away. To me right now, this looks pretty good, all things considered. And I haven't touched up or done anything with it. So what I'm gonna try to do now is put on Kat Von D's Light 42 Powder Foundation. I just bought this from Sephora, actually, when I bought the Oblivion lipstick. So this is what Light 42 looks like. I would say that the Kat Von D powder will work just fine for me to touch up this foundation. So let me just say I am thrilled with the Idun Minerals foundation in Jorunn. The color Jorunn is a perfect match for me in my opinion. If you go to my blog post that is the companion to this video, I have pictures of me wearing the foundation in direct sunlight, indirect sunlight, indoors, outdoors, under studio lights, in all of these different conditions, and you can see how it matches my skin and looks like skin. I don't feel like it looks like I'm wearing a ton of foundation or that I'm wearing, you know, cake face. So I'm really thrilled with this foundation for the color match. I'm thrilled with the formula. I know previously that I said my only complaint with it is that it's a little bit too sheer, but I have found that today that if I use the Too Faced Hangover primer, put on the foundation, use the Kat Von D L1 concealer very sparingly, like under my eyes, on my nose, and on my chin, it gives me the perfect amount of coverage that I need to hide my redness from my rosacea. And then I just set it basically with the Cover FX Illuminating setting powder, and it's been on for like 8 hours, and you saw how it looked. I felt like it looked pretty good. I did need to touch up my nose, which I'm told by many makeup artists that's completely normal, and the Kat Von D Lock-It Powder Foundation in Light 42 seems to be the perfect match for touching that up. So I'm really thrilled with this combination. I'm thrilled with this foundation. So I'm gonna say that because I was able to extend the wear to 8 hours of wear with only needing really to touch up my nose, and the color match, it looks great, and it's comfortable to wear, it's not itchy, and since it's fragrance free, silicone free, talc free, bismuth oxychloride free, oil free, and all that jazz, and it seems to work really well with my skin, I'm thrilled. So the only thing that I can say about this foundation that isn't very good is the shade range. It only comes in 9 shades, and the shades start at extra pale, which is what I'm wearing, and go to like medium. And it says that the shades are like medium deep, but honestly, I'm pretty confident that my friend Brittany could not wear this foundation because she wears like, I think she wears shade 18 in Urban Decay's foundation range. So it's not deep enough for her skin tone. So I would say that that's like one area that they could improve on, is expanding the shade range. But yeah, after wearing this all day for the second day and trying it with a different primer and all this stuff, I'm absolutely thrilled with this foundation. I love it. This is going to be my go-to foundation combination now indefinitely because it actually looks good on my skin, and I'm really happy with it. If you're curious to see how this foundation looks compared to some other pale foundations like Kat Von D Light 41 or the L1 concealer, I have pictures of that up on my blog, so you can check that out. So yeah, I think this is a pretty awesome liquid foundation for my dry skin. What do you think of the Idun Minerals liquid foundation in Jorunn? please be sure to let me know in the comments below. If you like this video and found it helpful, please give it a thumbs up and share. I love it when you share my videos. It makes my day. And if you haven't already, go ahead and click that subscribe button so you don't miss my next video. Thanks so much for watching. Phaedra says, see you in our next video. Bye!